Hi, welcome everybody down to my latest review of the new Ping G410 products, and this time it's the video covering the crossover. So currently releasing some videos with the whole range of the G410 products from Ping, driver, fairway, hybrid, crossover and also iron. So please go and check out my playlist named Ping G410 product reviews. This video we're going to concentrate on the crossover, going to give it a review, test it. We've got some numbers off GC2 HMT and give you guys a little bit of an idea of how it performs and possibly if this is something that could go in your bag. Okay, so the G410 crossover. So first instincts when I got this out of the wrapper was yes, thank you Ping for producing a driving iron that looks really good. So as many of you may have known, the G400 crossover was a pretty big bulky club. It did a great job, it performed superb, but I think a lot of golfers were just a little bit off put by the size and the bulk of the actual head. G410 crossover, completely different animal. It sits absolutely stunning, a lot slimmer. Head profile's a little bit more compact, so similar profile to what we've seen with the irons, going a little bit smaller than the G400 range. We've still got that hollow head construction, but much better package in terms of what it looks like sat down by the golf ball. Okay, so let's get some shots here. I've got the number 3 crossover. This is available in a 2, a 3 and a 4. Let's get this first one here. Oh, it's like a little rocket. Super ball flight there, very sort of penetrating ball flight, and I can see how this would sort of sit in as a different option to a hybrid. So hybrid generally promotes more of that higher launch. Obviously with this more iron head, especially with this G410 in terms of being a bit more compact, will definitely promote a slightly lower launch, but with more forgiveness than what you may see in a traditional sort of 3 iron. Okay, so what tech have we got happening in the crossover? We've got quite a bit, to be honest. So we've got this maraging steel face that we're seeing in the G400 fairway woods and hybrids, where the maraging steel face is connected to obviously the 17.4 stainless steel. So basically that creates more ball speed, a little bit hotter off that club face, creating a little bit more of that flex and again forgiveness across the actual club face. Now, the G410 crossover is a smaller head, should I say, in terms from that heel to the toe, so than what we saw in the G400 crossover. So a little bit more of that compact head. We've still got that bit of offset there, thickish top line, but by all means not too thick. And we just see a tiny bit just stuck behind that top edge, but literally a little slither where we know in the 400 we saw a lot of it. It was can be a little bit off-putting. And again, that's lovely. It's a lovely ball flight. It's quite penetrating, and I'd love to get my hands on the 2 iron. Unfortunately, they sent me a Ping, very good of them to send me it, obviously, but they sent me a 3 iron. I would love to get my hands on a 2 iron here, because as many of you will know, I am a 2 iron carrier, but that feels superb. So the 410 crossover also features a tungsten plug in the toe section on the sole, which again we did see in the G400 crossover, but this time it's 50% bigger. So as the blade length gets a little bit shorter, which would tend to make the club a little bit less forgiving, the extra weight of that tungsten in that toe section is pulling the MOI, basically. He's pulling that weight away to the perimeters, so creating a bigger MOI and keeping the forgiveness that you would see in a bigger headed golf club. So ultimately trying to make this club head smaller but still forgiving, which is a story of the actual irons itself in the G410s. Okay, I guess the next one here. Yeah, that's lovely. It's a very easy club to launch, as you'd expect from this type of iron, but it's at the same time it's giving it quite a nice sort of penetrating flight. As I said, I'd love to get the 2 iron in my hand. I mean, this is the 3 iron, which is 20 degrees, so I'm guessing the 2 iron, I'm not seeing the exact spec of it, but I'm guessing it might be sort of 17, 18 degree, maybe 18, which would be a really nice sort of flight and a really good option as a off the tee sort of club, basically, you know, for that tight fairway or that tight sort of tee shot. maybe just a little bit more of an iron for accuracy. So the other technology that's featuring in the crossover is an internal rib structure. So inside this hollow head, there's three sort of bars that run from the sole to the sort of top of the club, which is basically stiffening the body construction. So just transferring energy sort of back into the golf ball to create a little bit more of a solid feel, but also a little bit more of that ball speed. Now I've got this in a graphite option, which I sort of quite prefer, just in the long iron. It just makes it a little bit easier to sort of hit in eyes. But obviously through custom fit you can get steel options also. So if you were in a set of irons, you might just want to match that shaft right the way through for a consistency of feel and performance. Okay, that was a bit heely. The flight of it is superb and very accurate again, so very forgiving. I didn't get all of that, and it's probably just dropped off a little bit. Yeah, 211 carry there, so probably dropped about 10 yards of carry, but that was quite a heel strike. But visually that was very, well, as you can see, very sort of straight and still very penetrating there. So forgiveness level, that was a good test there with that miss hit. Okay, so we're just going to hit one more shot. Really enjoying hitting this crossover, and then we'll look at some numbers. Oh, that's an absolute rocket. I love that. Really enjoyed hitting that. I mean, I am a big fan of those long irons, and that is superb. Massive tick from Ping in terms of how they've evolved this from the G400. The shape of it's so much better. It feels fantastic, very forgiving and pretty accurate as well, which is good. So let's look at some numbers in a little bit more detail and see how that G410 crossover is performing. Okay, so let's look at some numbers there. So averaging club head speed just 101.4, ball speed just short of 141 there. So some good sort of speeds there coming off the club face. Launching just under 12 degrees and spinning at 3.6. So spin's maybe a little bit high there, but to be fair, I didn't really see that climb through its flight. But maybe I'd probably just like to maybe just drop that 400 or 500 revs would probably just suit me a little bit more there. So possibly, I mean, that was an X Flex that I've got, so it's a bit more flex to suited to me, but it is in the Alta CB, so maybe a little bit soft in that tip section. It's a little bit more high launching, a little bit more high spinning, so possibly a steel option there would change that spin number for me. Carry distance there averaging at 220, running out at 238, so really good option off the tee. And I say I love to get that 2-iron, maybe get that carry distance up to sort of 235, maybe into 240 area. Would be quite an interesting club to hit off the tee. Right, so there we go guys, there's the Ping G410 crossover, and big thumbs up to Ping. Me personally, through fittings, through 2018 with the G400 crossover, was if I had a 2-iron available in it, which Ping didn't offer, they started at 3-iron going up, so I had a 2-iron offer, I'd have sold quite a lot of them because it cried out for a 2-iron. Ping never had that real good driving iron offering. So now I think they've realised that, and they've brought out the 2-iron version, but in a much better playing profile. So I think it's a great addition. I think that's going to be a really big seller for Ping through 2019. So forgiving, it's got the ball speed there, it's got the looks, it's got the flight. It's a real winner for me. So I'd love to hear your comments though, guys. If you are driving iron, would you replace maybe that 3-iron, 4-iron, and say this is available crossover in a 2, 3 and a 4? Would you replace those long irons with something like this? What are your thoughts on the G400? I think you're going to much prefer the look of this 410 version. I'll always comment down below as always. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you have, then please consider hitting that subscribe button, ring that bell to get notifications of any future videos. You'll be the very first ones to watch it on my channel. And follow my social media platforms, both Instagram and Twitter. And make sure you stay tuned for all the other G410 products I'm going to be reviewing. They're all either coming very shortly or they'll already be on my channel, so do go and check that out. I'm sure there'll be some links around here to do that. And hopefully we'll catch up with you all very soon.